And we're back at the salvage yard. I know I said the Audi would be in paint in this video, but unfortunately we keep finding more dents and dings and it needs some more hours of body work done. If you're new here and you don't know what's going on, I bought a 1995 Audi Quattro Sport from my local salvage yard and I've been working on restoring it back to better than it's ever been. So while Johnny's working on making the car perfect, we're back at the scrapyard looking for a motor to swap into this thing. There was a lot of debate whether or not I was going to go AAN swap, 3B swap, but I've decided to land on an 07K swap. And if those of you who don't know, that's basically Volkswagen's 5-cylinder equivalent of the Audi engines. It's a modern 5-cylinder. But I'm going to cut myself off right there because the wind was awful. But basically what I'm saying is we need to find a 2006 to 2014 Volkswagen. They put these engines in just about everything. Rabbit, Golf, Jetta, even the new Beetle had them. So they're should be pretty easy to find. Which is exactly why I chose to go with the 07K, because they're plentiful and there's lots of aftermarket parts for them. Well, we found one. I mean, I'm not sure how in depth I want to do this build. If I'm doing a full engine rebuild, then this could be. If this is the only one in here, we'll take it, and I'll just do a full engine rebuild. But let's keep looking. This might be a 2.5 right here. Yeah. What is this shopping cart doing? Yep, look at that. 5 coils. Somebody took the coils and they are full of ice. Hopefully the spark plug's in there. Oh no. Cylinder. 2.5 right here. 2010 2.5. 108K. Yeah. Oh, what is it with people pulling the intakes off these things? Ugh. Can you get in there? Freaking ice in there. Why you do this? So this one's more complete. However, unfortunately, somebody pulled the intake off. Somebody took the oil cap off, and this thing's been sitting without a hood. Probably the entire. It's probably junk. And that ice gets in there, freezes, it breaks aluminum. Aluminum's not very strong. So we found another one in this Golf. Once again, somebody took the valve cover off, I don't know what they were doing. They took the cam retaining clips out, but didn't do anything else. Like, I don't know how long this has been sitting like this. It's covered in leaves, so it's obviously been a while. There's probably water down in there. Well, I guess we're gonna keep looking. Could this be? No. Oh, I was gonna say what's in this, but I see an intercooler on the side there, so I'm assuming it's probably a 1.8T. The chances of it being a turbo 07K are very low.
Yeah, TDI.
Oh, it's a TDI, it's diesel, never mind. Is it a 2.5? Probably not, but it is not. Dang it. It was a miss. Every 07K has been taken apart and left out open in the elements. So we decided to just call it a night, go home, maybe check out another yard in the morning. That is, until on our way out, our friend Gilbert spotted a Jetta in the front corner that hasn't even made it out into the back yet. Got a little bit of front end damage. 2.5! No way! We found it! This is the one! This is the cleanest one. It's literally in the front. It's not even in the yard yet. Right on the side of the road behind all these RVs. It's got a 26 sticker. This must have just came in.
Good eye, Gilbert. Good eye.
Look at that. Yeah, this is it. Let's see how many miles are on this bad boy. Ah, thank you, Gilbert. Thank you. It's not even run on. 166K on the oil sticker. That's a decent amount. But I'm doing a rebuild, right? I'm doing a build. I'm building the engine. This one's complete. There's no ice in the intake. I think this is the one. What are the chances you think he'll let me take this home and bring it back without an engine? If we could bring this car back to my heated shop to pull the engine, that would be amazing. So I'm talking to the man right now and we'll see what he says. All right. He said we can have it. We can take the car and bring it back without an engine. All right, so we need to go get Big Ugly in the trailer. You probably have to bring your Bronco too, so we could use the Bronco to winch it up. Probably should do that. Last time didn't go so well. Yeah, push that thing. No. The winch broke in half. I just had a thought. It's been a while. I don't think that I changed the pond water out of the radiator in this thing. Hopefully there was enough residual coolant in there to keep it from freezing. I don't know. I'm gonna go get some coolant and put it in and top it off. Well, fortunately, turns out the pond water I put in this thing about half a year ago is not frozen, so we're on our way back to pick up the car and get it back to the shop. You know, one of these days, I'll have to put a winch on the trailer.
It's not gonna roll forward once it goes flat, right?
No. I mean, maybe. So we got the donor engine and its car back in the shop. Now, while we have it in one piece, I figure might as well see if it runs, because then we know if we have a confirmed running engine, that's good, right? I mean, I'm rebuilding the whole thing anyways, but the more you know, the better. So, it actually came with a battery. We're gonna throw a battery in. I threw it on the charger for a little bit. Let's see what happens. Damn, dude, this thing's got 192,000 miles on it. Was this the right car to buy? I don't know. Will it start? Do I have to hit the brakes too? We got some flash and stuff going on here. Got a quarter tank of gas. It'll start. That was just a loose connection. Let's try. Let's tighten these terminals up. Let's try that again. It runs! And it doesn't sound bad either. Alright, it runs. It's very quiet, but it runs. The fact that this thing runs is like mint. The fact that it almost has 200K, not that mint. But that's okay, I'm rebuilding it anyways. As long as it ran, it's good. It sounded pretty good too. Not a lot of smoke either. That condensation is probably just from it sitting. And we only had it running for like a minute, so. Let's go ahead and pull it out. First thing, since this is front wheel drive, it's gonna be pretty freaking easy. We just gotta disconnect coolant, wiring, fuel, suspension, and drop the whole subframe. We can use the lift to lift the car off the subframe. Then we can disconnect to the engine from the transmission, lift that off, and then drop the car back down in the subframe and put it on the trailer and get it out of here. So let's do it. Cue the montage. Upon further investigation, we don't even need to drop the subframe since the engine's mounted in front of the subframe. We can just disconnect the motor mounts and pull this engine right out the front of the car. Which is good news because I don't know if you guys noticed, but half of the front of the car is missing already from the front end damage that it took. And you know what else happened? All the Freon was already gone. Didn't even have to pump it out. Now, aside for the aircon lines that I just cut, I'm really gonna try my best to preserve as many parts off this car as I can because other people might need them. You know, that's what salvage yards are all about, so I'm just looking out for the next guy. Like this headlight, for example. This headlight on this side is perfectly good, so I'm gonna take this one out carefully, put it on the passenger seat. Somebody might need this. And despite having front end damage, this crash bar seems to be in pretty good shape as well, so I'm gonna throw this inside the car, along with these power steering lines. Now, I might be going a little overboard, but I'm gonna try not to cut as much as I can when pulling this engine. However, I am gonna cut the engine harness because I may need it for putting in an ECU, depending on whether I go with a standalone or if I have to use a standard ECU, but I feel like I'm gonna go standalone with what I've got planned for this engine. We might need it. You guys ready for this? My plan, my goal for this engine, this 07K with 200K on it, is to reach 800 crank horsepower. And to reach those numbers, we are definitely going to be taking this engine to my dad's machine shop and doing a bunch of work on it there. We're going to have to get forged internals, we're going to have to get a big turbo. It's going to get pricey pretty quick, but I'm going to use every dollar I make on YouTube, so make sure you guys are subscribed, like, and share the videos so we can make this happen. And that's all you got to do. You don't have to spend a dollar. But if you do, I do also have a merch link in my bio. Actually, it's on my profile. So go check them out. We got some pretty cool merch, beanies, hoodies, all the stuff you want. Anyways, moving on, we got to remove the axle shafts from the transmission since the transmission has to come out with the engine. We also need to cut the exhaust. And then that's it. Now we can remove the motor mounts and the engine will come right out. This part scared the hell out of my cameraman. He thought the engine was gonna fall on me. It's almost out. Just got 2 motor mounts on the top holding it in place. I gotta disconnect the clutch and then we can lower it down and pop it out. So we got the synthetic winch cable from the winch that broke when we pulled the Audi up on the trailer. And we got it looped around this here, and then there's a hole here. I think that's gonna be a sufficient lifting point. And this stuff's rated for like a lot. I mean, at least an Audi. These 2 right here, and then those 2 on that side, and it should come right out. Supposedly. All right, one side is free. Should be out. That should be it. All right, now we got to remove the transmission. Okay, it's heavy on that side. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, hey, that's a front wheel drive car. Isn't the Audi a longitudinal all-wheel drive mounted engine? And you'd be right, it is. And that doesn't really matter because we can just put this engine longitudinally in the Audi. It doesn't have to be transverse. Tiny little guy. There she lives. Let's get it back on the trailer. With nearly 200K on this bad boy, I'm interested to see what the insides look like. But we're gonna see that next week in the next video because that's all for this week. Will the Audi be painted as well next week? I don't know, maybe. It looks pretty good, it's all one color, look. Are you gonna show them the one dent? That's what I'm talking about. We think we get all the dents, and then one pops up, and then there's also this right here that we didn't notice. But Johnny, we found two. That's why it's taken so long, but it's getting there. I want it to be perfect. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming on the journey and pulling this thing out of the engine. That I did not expect for this to happen. This is all filmed in one day. Yeah. See you guys next week.
When the moon hits the sky, that's a big piece of pie, that's amore.